Buff Nation, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Recovering a bit from my trip to Summer League, but feeling good enough to come on here and make a video. And let's talk about Brandon Davis-Swain. Let's talk about, can he be that true freshman surprise or standout in his true freshman year? I think we're all expecting Jordan Seaton to be that true freshman that ends up starting his freshman year at left tackle for us. But outside of that, we have a handful of freshmen such as Brandon Davis-Swain or Cam McKell, Draylon Miller, Brandon Hood, a handful of guys that could be true freshman surprises this year. I think a handful of these guys are going to get playing time. And let's talk about my expectations, my predictions for what I'm expecting from Brandon Davis-Swain. So let's go ahead and dive into it. If y'all have any thoughts on him as well, predictions, let me know in the comments. As always, hit that subscribe if you like Buffs content. Let's go ahead and get started. So Brandon Davis-Swain, he is our 6'4", 260-pound edge coming over here from West Bloomfield, Michigan, West Bloomfield High. And one thing that really stands out from the get-go, one, he was an early enrollee, so he's already been here for a semester. But two, I mean, he already has that college-sized body at 6'4", 260 pounds to come in and play right away, which is awesome. Now, it really, I think, comes down to, is he able to beat some of our starting edge players out? I mean, BJ Green, Dayon Hayes are probably going to be our two guys that are starting on the edge with rotation from Sam Okunlola, Arden Walker. Definitely see Keaton Wade, Quincy Wiggins getting into the mix as well. And Quincy Wiggins might play inside a little bit as well. Not really sure what to expect from Nikhil Webb-Walker. Maybe Taj McCoy surprises us. But as you can see, I mean, we got like close to 10 guys in this edge room. And I think all these guys will get snaps to some level this year. But in terms of what I'm expecting from Brandon Davis-Swain, I'm predicting something very similar to what we saw from Arden Walker last year in terms of his time on the field, his production, and a local Colorado kid that we saw against the Oregon Ducks, Blake Purchase. So let's go ahead and look at their stat lines. First, let's start with Blake Purchase, true freshman last year, edge coming over from Denver, Colorado, playing for the Oregon Ducks. And throughout his season, I thought he got a great amount of playing time for a true freshman that was on a very, very good defense at Oregon. 179 total snaps, 48 where he was assisting in the run defense, 112 pass rushes, 19 plays in coverage. You can see he ended the year with 10 pressures, a sack, 5 quarterback hits, and 4 quarterback hurries, and had 6 total tackles, 3 missed. So not the biggest stat line, but the biggest thing that jumps out to me was 179 snaps. So if you want to divide that, let me just do some quick math right here to see how many snaps he averaged per game. 79 divided by 13. So yeah, that's between 13 and 14 snaps a game, 13.7 if you want to be particular. I think that this is Blake Purchase, similar to Brandon Davis-Swain, 4-star guy, highly recruited, coming in with that college-ready body. Now let's take a look at Arden Walker, 6'2", 250, and Brandon Davis-Swain, again to compare, 6'4", 260, coming into his time at CU, and he's probably put on weight since then. Maybe still has time for a growth spurt as well. But what we saw from Arden Walker was seeing his I thought we saw a little bit, of his snaps increase throughout the second half of the season, but finished with 199 snaps throughout his time on the Buffs this past year. And stat line, 14 total pressures, a sack, 3 quarterback hits, 10 quarterback hurries. That was the biggest thing that really stuck out to me throughout his 83 pass rushes. I think that that's a pretty good indicator there. When you're getting 10 pressures for every 83 pass rushes, that's pretty nice. Every 8 pass rushes or so, that's great. Finished with 11 total tackles and 3 missed tackles. And I thought he was one of our most improved players throughout the season. And I'm expecting him to take another jump this year as well. But kind of what I'm expecting from Brandon Davis-Swain is similar to these types of numbers. I would expect him to again, just because we have more depth at the edge room this year, I don't know if I can slate him in for 200 snaps, but I would say he probably plays between 140 and 180 snaps. And I would love to see him probably generate, 10 tackles, a sack or two, and a handful of quarterback hurries and pressures as well. That's what I'm really expecting. Now, if we have some injuries happen in the edge room, we could see his playing time really increase. Granted, he has the physical tools, and now it's just about putting it together at that next level. He could surpass some of the guys that are probably ahead of him on the depth chart right now. Going into fall camp, that's totally possible. But right now, this isn't necessarily a dig on Brandon Davis-Swain, but it speaks to the confidence that I have in the rest of the edge room. BJ Green, Dayon Hayes, Samuel Okunlola. These are all starting caliber edges. We really didn't have that last year outside of Jordan Dominic. Keaton Wade, a guy that I'm still very excited about. 250 pounds. He can play a little bit of inside too. And a lot of people have been very happy with the development of Taj McCoy. So there's a lot more competition this year. And that's why I still kind of have the snaps a little bit lower than what you saw maybe with what Arden Walker did last year. Granted, as a redshirt sophomore, if I remember correctly. Actually, I can make sure I look that up right now. Yeah. So now he's going into his junior year. And Blake Purchase, again, 179 snaps his freshman year. I think on the high end, Brandon Davis-Swain could probably get there and set himself up to be one of the main, at the very least, rotational edges going into 2025, if not a starter, based on what happens in the rest of the room, who we bring in the transfer portal, because Dayon Hayes, BJ Green, if I remember correctly, they will be gone. I don't know if they'll be exercising any COVID year options that they might have. I'm very happy we're almost done with that. Keep on knocking my mic out here every video now. But y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think that this is a very good start for Brandon Davis-Swain. And again, this is just laying the foundation for what's to come for the Buffs defense in the future. Brandon Davis-Swain is a cornerstone for this program. So thank you guys so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, y'all, let's go Buffs.